Hello everyone, welcome back to the series where I do some sound design while I yap about something I am thinking about at the moment. If you read the title, you know today's topic, right? It's me talking about how I've never really understood, why people chase luxury so much. But before I do, I suppose I should just start with the gimmick for today's sound design. I've made this little melody and a bit of a patch 3x oscillator. It's very basic, but it's playing this kind of goofy little melody. You guys get the idea. I'm going to be relying purely on effects on the effects chain to see if I can make it sound kind of cool. And yeah, I suppose I should start talking about the actual topic. And I see in like culture today, as well as, a lot of people I'm surrounded by, right? A lot of people seem to have this desire to get rich, which is totally fair. I understand, right? It's like I want to be like being financially free sounds pretty nice. And here, let's actually try a lot. Okay, let's keep it at the high one and let's just see what we can do with, say, maybe a effector. I totally get it. Nobody wants to be in the rat race, blah blah blah. Totally valid. And actually, since we're using the volume automation for this knob, I'm gonna put a balance at the end so I can control the output volume so that it's not too bad to listen to. And matter of fact, why don't we also just add an EQ to the sound to see if we can. I don't think that did anything. And actually, Matt, while we're at it, we seem to be getting nowhere, but that's okay. Totally get it, right? Being financially free, not have to work, totally fair. But then I also see a large component of this desire for wealth come from, I want to buy Gucci stuff. I want to buy really fancy shit. I want like a luxury car and I want like a big car or big house or status symbols, basically, right? Ooh. Actually, hang on. I'm not even recording this sound design jam. I should probably do that. Okay. I do. I'm starting to enjoy the timbre of the sound now a lot more. So I think it's time we maybe start scrolling through some patcher presets. Let's go. Ooh, let's actually. Okay, I don't know what most of these words mean. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. But let's go. What the hell? Okay. I see that this doesn't come with the interface that comes with a lot of patcher presets. So we're just gonna not compress it. I do need to get OTT on this computer. So that's maybe. What are you? Okay. Okay, I see what this does. Okay. Let's keep this at full. And maybe if we take off the destruct, I think the destructor does give it a lot more character. So I'm going to keep the bit crush thing we have going on there. And I suppose, I never use hardcore. Let's use. I remember why. Okay. Um, let's go back to. Let's go Vocodex actually. Maybe even before the patcher. Okay, let's not go Vocodex. I don't think this is going to be all that useful for. Actually, hang on. If we change. Okay, yeah, we're not using Vocodex. But there's also a layer for the desire of wealth that, I want to buy status symbols. I want to buy a vacation in Dubai. I want to, fancy cars. I want a Lambo. Right? And that's the part of the desire for wealth that I've never really understood. Because I understand the part of just wanting to be financially free, not really having to work much. Totally get it. That would be awesome, right? Okay, we're just doing Bit Crush. Okay, I don't. Okay, let's up the fruity balance now. I think the Bit Crush thing we had going on is the thing that's carrying. And I think it's time for an EQ to. Matter of fact, it might have even been time for an EQ way right after we applied the first destructor, purely because we might need to be controlling those rather hard. And we're already kind of loading up quite a bit on effects. Oh, okay. This is kind of cool. And I suppose why I never really understood the desire for wealth from that angle is because it's stuff like this that gives me happiness, right? It's like, yeah, money would be pretty fucking awesome, right? If I got a bunch of money, I would be pretty happy. But hanging out with friends, doing stuff I like making these videos, doing sound design, stuff like that. That's what gives me happiness, right? And so as a result, I've never really had a desire to have like fancy stuff because I just never really understood the hype. It's like just because other people, find it cool doesn't mean I do, right? But I also think there's a much like a slightly more sinister part to this, where having designer stuff, having designer stuff almost acts as like a way for people to feel above each other. And I'm not saying that people who buy really fancy stuff are bad, right? Or people who like desire it. Totally fair. Like I'm not bad mouthing them. That's totally like, I don't think you're a bad person, right? If you want any of that stuff. But I think there's an element to it where it's like you want to distinguish yourself, right? Which I think that's why we do all our like choices, right? That's why we wear the clothes we wear. That's why, we present ourselves in certain ways. Totally fair. But it almost feels like a way of trying, like, it's like status symbols, right? At their core, they're a way to display your wealth. It's pretty elementary stuff, right? But, and what is going on? Why are you not? What the hell? Um, I do not know what's. Give me. Okay, let's just control Z. Am I crazy? Okay, I'm just gonna uh re. I'm gonna export this part of the thing out, and I'm just gonna reload the project file, right? But basically, it's almost like because it's like a show of wealth, kind of, right? Totally fair. You wanna enjoy the fruits of your labor, right? It almost feels like a way for people to feel like they're above the rest, right? That's kind of how I've always interpreted it. It's like, okay, I'm gonna reload. If you guys want a cool little, okay, never mind. I'm just gonna go back to this sound design FLP and hope it works now. Fingers crossed. But it's like, why are you trying to distinguish yourself so much from like, if you will, like the common folk, right? It's maybe it's a like very this is a very surface level thought and a very okay. Something's up. Are you not routed to the mixer channel? Okay, one of the okay, it's the patcher. That's the issue. So let's replace you, let's say with an effector. What the hell? Oh, that's right, because I put a ring mod on you. There we go. I kind of like the reverb tail that we have going on, but it almost feels like an implicit way of saying I'm better than you, right? Once again, I don't think that all people that design this kind of stuff feel this way, right? Some people, car people, probably think it's genuinely cool to own a fancy car. Totally a-okay. But I think there's still an element of that to it, right? Where it's not, it goes beyond just, I think, it just goes beyond just, I think it would be cool to have this. And it goes into that, I'm not like the rest. And that's what something that I've just never understood. Like, why is this something that like you desire? Like, because it's like I don't see myself ever purchasing stuff like this, right? Like, well, maybe, once I get big and successful, I'm gonna switch up on my day ones. Um, sure, that's very relatable, but okay, all jokes aside, that's kind of the part of the chase for wealth that I've never understood. And I know there's like a lot of other valid reasons to chase wealth, right? To provide for your family, right? To, be able to be financially free, stuff like that. But it's the desire, it's not the desire for wealth, it's the desire for luxury that you know, seems to like I just don't get. Why what's so cool about like, tacky shit like, the boo-boos and stuff, right? Like what's never understood the appeal. I don't know if I ever will. Um I've kind of said everything I want to do on this topic. So I'm just gonna muck around with the sound design for like a minute or two more, then we'll call it. Um Surely another destructor will. Is there a low pass in one? Where is the Okay, I'm not sure where the frequency content's going. Okay, that's good. I think, ooh, that's basically the same thing. I don't know why. Let's go, what if we just completely randomize? Let's go randomize again. Or not hybridize. Okay, randomize does not seem to be the move. I cannot lie. Um, that's all from me. Let me know if this is kind of an out of touch take. I also realize this kind of surface level, but it's just something I've been thinking about lately. So, see ya.